here. Don't worry about it. I'm not on autopilot. It's going to be fine. Warning, the following subject matter may be rated M for mature. Stay tuned.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe, I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Fucking A. I'm done with your way.
Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Yeah, man. Today is the lesson of how the fuck to do it my way. So, here we go. How do I get out of that studio mode, man? It's annoying as hell. Hi, guys. My name is Tim. I am your TruthSlinger, and apparently we are looking at the focused in on the wrong screen because we are hoping someone is going to call in, and I'm just going to bitch for a while and complain and moan and talk about things that are going on until somebody joins me. And if nobody joins me, well, then there you go. The show is a bust, right? So I'm trying to figure this out. Let me see. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, studio. See a little bit of what I have to go through to make this shit work for you. We bring this stuff to you every day. I mean, I know you can't stand it. In the morning. In the morning, come on, camera work. Come on, make me work. No, it won't work. You can't take my camera. All right. So anyway, I am a blob. I go like this when I talk, right? And I'm asking anybody to join me who's got like stones that wants to talk about politics, about anything, man. I'm like wide open, okay? So I have sent a link. I'm going to send a link in the chat. Hang on, I got to find it. All right, copy invite link. Then I got to go over to someplace that is active. Okay, there. How about that? All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Right underneath, I got a live thing going on. I'm making a comment right now. Okay, I'm adding a chat. Let me see. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, we don't want to do that. Let's go in. Here we go. Stick with me. This is going to be really cool. All right. So now I think I can make a comment. There we go. Oh, yes. There we go. I can't chat from the OSB. I'm sorry. So here we go. I just sent a link. All right. With that link, what that there link means, okay, is that if you got the balls and you got nothing to do, show up. Debate me about something. This is an experiment. I want to talk. It's 6 o'clock at night on the night before Thanksgiving, and I'm just sitting here screwing around. And so I find that very few people actually have the balls, which is what I've been dealing with all afternoon, to actually confront what is going on. What's going on in our world? See, the national election, it's all great. We won, Donald Trump, rah, rah, rah. But you can't go back to sleep. Uh-oh, Mayo Monkey is in the house. Hey, what's going on, dude?
Hey, can you hear me, sir?
Well, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Let me hold on there.
I can't see you, but I can hear you. So we don't care. You can't see.
Oh yeah, I turned my camera off, sir.
Don't worry about it. Good.
I'm ugly. I really don't want to scare people.
Me too.
So.
Me too. So what's going on, dude? Man, we've never met. How are you?
No, I think we were on a chat one night together on X.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah. So I'm glad
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you joined me. I want to talk about some stuff, man. I want to talk about I want to talk about politics, and I want to talk about, in particular, the workings of Republicans and conservatives together, because I don't think we do that very well. I think that what we have is with Democrats, they all are on lockstep most of the time, except for that radical, extreme wing they have over there of the AOC and the crew and all that stuff. But I think that in general, what hurts us is that as Republicans, we're free thinkers, okay? And we're kind of all over the place. And I've been under a spirit of, what shall we call it, coalition building since Trump's victory, because I believed that Trump's victory was by coalition building. And I believed we needed to take that and bring it, excuse me, down to the state level, okay? And what I'm finding is that it's like herding cats so far. So that's all I have, and I was frustrated about that, and I wanted to know what else somebody thought about it. Might be able to bring something to the conversation.
Yeah, it's like herding cats in a room full of mice.
Yes. Yeah.
It's because our base now is what I would consider Clinton era Democrats to the most extreme libertarians.
Right.
And that's a large belief gap.
Uh,
And it includes everybody from, what they used to call the old blue dog Democrats
right.
to anarchists.
Uh-huh.
That's a large gap to try and fill in.
It is. And here's what I'm finding, dude, is that I've got people that are ideologues, okay? And I'm running into people that are like, if you don't believe, like, for example, that abortion should be illegal everywhere and it needs to be a national mandate, like, you and I have nothing to talk about. And I'm like going, well, like, if you're going to be a stick in the mud like that, we're never going to get anywhere, because the best you're going to get in our political system is some approximation to what you're trying to achieve. But I don't believe people are realistic about things, dude.
No. And you had a guy on your podcast a couple of times that works with immigrants, right?
Yes, yes,
Mainly from Africa.
yes.
I don't know the guy personally. But the organizations he works with are one of the biggest problems in Maine.
Right. Who are you specifically talking about? Are you talking about Chuck Ellis?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe that was his name.
All right.
I was in the chat.
Yeah.
And
No,
it was a bad day.
Yeah.
I was quoting federal law.
Yeah. No. Listen. He is one of my hosts for a podcast. But of course, when I came onto this, I want everybody to understand that out of the goodness of my heart, I have decided to produce radio podcasts from the middle of the woods in Maine on a generator and give people a platform in local, in the local arena to be able to make their views known and heard. And so I just want to put out that disqualification in that I don't think exclusively like Chuck does. And as a matter of fact,
I understand that.
No. And I don't think you do, but I'm clarifying for the people that are listening. Okay. Is that Chuck and I feel like they should hit the road, Jack. Okay. I mean, just to make it like real succinct, he has different views than that, right? But what I'm experiencing right now is a little interesting because it's this desire to spit Chuck out like a pearl. Okay, like something foreign in the body politic. I agree that he is not as strong on some positions as I would like him to be. However, he has some inner working knowledge about the GOP and the way things work. Now, I've never been convinced that you can't do things outside of the GOP either. But he, that's his animal. That's the wheelhouse he works in. And he's kind of starting to come under some fire because of that. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't have a problem with what he does. I believe in helping people. But he described a certain situation where there was a number of underage foreign children living on the street in Portland.
Yeah.
The first thing they should have done was called ICE.
Yep.
That way they can be entered into the system. That way we know who they are, at least, and we can track them.
Right.
ICE is going to turn them over to these agencies.
Right.
They're going to house them while they're processing. They're going to feed them. They're going to give them a medical checkup while they're there's no reason to just take them and spread them throughout the state without official knowledge of their existence here.
Right.
And Maine is an easy place to hide.
It is. It's a very big place when it's a little place, but it is a big place, actually.
The North Pond Hermit is the perfect example of that. Remember that guy from a few years ago?
Yep. No, I don't. Tell me about him.
Oh, he was living out in the woods in Maine for like 30 years. Living off of stealing and borrowing from camps and cabins in the local area.
Oh, I see. Right. Wow. Okay.
It's a heck of a story. They finally caught him.
Well, that's good.
But I mean, Maine is a place a lot of people go to disappear.
It is, and we I'm glad you mentioned that because we're transplant to Maine. All right, 6 years now,
Oh, yeah.
and
I moved there when I was 13 from Philadelphia after my mom died,
right, right, right. See, and this
and
is what
stayed
I'm,
there until I was 18,
and
and
this
then
is
joined, or till I was 19, then joined the service and left.
right, and dude, it's Mick, right? Mick,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
Mick. Listen, buddy. I am feeling the pain, okay, of trying to put together a group of people that can agree on the basics. Okay? Here's where I'm talking about. You can have your fringe view, but how productive is it going to be to move the needle toward where we need to be? Is that's my biggest question, right? I mean, it's like, I'm a rabid dog. Okay, that's my nature. Okay, but I have to learn how to cool out a little bit and give some people a chance to air out their topics. Right, like for example, I'm talking to a guy who's involved in BLM before. Now, how would you treat someone who's been involved with BLM before? If all of a sudden they were came onto your radar screen, how would you treat that, Mick?
I'd question their intelligence.
Okay,
Just for the simple fact of it was what it was.
right.
It was known to be what it was when it started, and people still latched on to it.
All right, well, let me be the devil's advocate for David, okay? Let me ask you, what if I told you I was adopted by white parents and I happened to be in the same place with some kids, some white kids, and it was at a school and da-da-da-da-da, and then the cops came, and I wound up in the system, and I feel like this is exclusively because I'm black. And I feel like I was wronged, and I feel like I have some, I don't know, need to pursue social justice. Okay, the words social justice because of my experience. What do you think about that? What
Okay.
would you say to someone like that, sir?
What social justice is reverse racism. It's treating someone to a different standard because the color of their skin. It is exactly what Martin Luther King spoke out against.
Right, right.
Anytime you put any word in front of justice, it changes the meaning.
Thank you. Thank you. You reinforced exactly what I've been saying, is that justice is justice is justice is justice. And if you put a modifier in
and
front
what
of
I
the word...
didn't hear from that story is what happened at that school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are blanks there for me that I've got to fill in, but where I'm trying to be at is I want to talk to this guy because he and I have become friends, okay? And either he's one of two things. Either this man is an extremely trained Marxist operative that is willing to look way longer than we are, because I think as Republicans, and I think in general as Americans, we think very short term. I don't know about you, but I got this feeling that sometimes we're staring at our belly buttons, and that typically communists look out 10, 25, 35, 50 years in advance. And so
over 50.
Yes. And so what I'm concerned about is, am I being played right now? And I want to have, I desperately want to have a show that's a point counterpoint kind of show that says, listen, we as conservatives are open to listening to things that are progressive in nature, and we don't have a problem with progressivism as long as it is within certain limits. For instance, don't trans our children, don't groom the kids, don't, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yes, but their goals were laid out in front of Congress and extracted from the Naked Communist book 62 years ago.
Yeah.
There are 43 goals for the United States.
Right. And you were the one, you brought that to me, didn't you? You brought that to me. I remember in a show one day. And you brought those goals. And do you want to go over them now?
If you would like, I
I
mean,
would. I really like that.
okay.
I'd really like that. Can you send me the link?
Yes, sir. I can. And it's
DM it to me, and I'll pull
and
that
this
sucker up.
is yeah this is from their website.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
this
Good.
is
This is good.
this is from Marxist.org.
Good.
This is their literature. They recognize this and accept it completely. Do you see in the private chat, sir? I sent you a link.
All right. Let me look, buddy. We're all experimental here, just in case you're tuning in just now, right? We are on the cutting edge of modern technology, right? And hey, hon, can you get the dog for me? Okay, let me see. What do we got here? Jeremy. Okay, no, ma'am. Male. Okay. Okay. We appreciate your patience here, trying to fill the time and space.
Yeah.
But it's important because I want people to understand. Holy crap. Let me see. Did you really send it to me? Can you dump it in the chat? Dump it in the chat.
Okay, not a problem.
Dump it in the chat so everybody else can look at it. And then I can pick it up from there and put it on the
It
screen.
might not show because I'm not a mod. Oh, no, it's showing. Okay, it's showing.
Let me see here. Oh, man, let me see. Where is it? There it is. Okay, I can see it. Can I see it over in X? What platform are you on watching today?
I'm on YouTube. I can go over to X and post it there too.
Yeah, post it on X. That's why I can't get it.
Not a problem. Let me find you here on X. Yeah, because I keep meeting these missing these main meetups on X.
Right. Well, listen, what I'm concerned about, guys, is that every time we try and get our shit together, we get into our ideological camps and we don't support each other. And that ends up kicking our asses in the end. Okay? I mean, we just end up suffering for it politically because the Democrats are lockstep, man. You know, the Democrats put out a memo and everybody is talking the same talking points, right?
Yeah.
You're going to toss that up in X, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I don't see it. Let me see.
Nope. I had to put it in the comments.
Oh, okay. All right. I can find it then.
Yeah. Or I can send it to you in Messenger too on X. That's fine.
DM me. That's the way to get a hold of me. And anybody out there, if you want to get a hold of the TruthSlinger, I don't do shit anywhere except for X. Okay? It's like Facebook is like it's not a thing. And forgive me for anybody out there listening on Facebook. Rumble, it's not a thing. Right? X is where it's at. And that's where I see the stuff. So that's where it's happening. I'm so glad you joined me, dude.
Oh, no problem, man.
All right. All right. So you DM'd me. Let me see.
Yes, sir.
Stop calling me sir, dude. It makes me feel fucking old. God.
That's a habit, man. Dude, I'm probably older than you, so.
Yeah, I know.
I'm 56.
I know. Where are you located, man?
Currently in Kansas. I will be back in Maine by the spring.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, I got it. All right. Jeez, I'm glad you hung with us this long, people. All right. So this is interesting. I want you to fucking dig on this, right? Let me see. How am I going to do this? Window capture. Let's do it this way. Add a window capture. We appreciate everybody for joining us here. And if you're just joining us here, we're talking about really important shit, okay? We're talking about communism in our country. And you're like, oh, hey, Tim, come on, man. Communism doesn't exist in our country. Oh, hell, yes, it does. Okay, and so Mayo Monkey, Mick, otherwise known as Mick. I want him to take us through this list because this is important, okay? You need to know why we are currently living in the state we're living. And, people don't believe it. I tell people that they're in a bubble of normalcy. Does that make sense to you? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've
Especially now that the elections are over.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me make sure it's up. Hang on. It should be up. Come on, why isn't it up? It went away. Oh, come on.
Now it's showing on YouTube. Oh, now it's not.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous. Hang on a second. I'm doing this.
Yeah, all these
this is
streaming
modern
platforms
technology,
are changing
guys.
now that
They are.
StreamYard is starting charging so much.
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, I got it. All right. It's up on the screen. And I might have put it too deep. That's probably what the problem it was. It's not all their fault. Some of it's my fault. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, take us through it.
Okay. The first one you're seeing now with the between Russia and Ukraine.
But what
the U.S.
wait,
acceptance?
back up. What are we looking at? And tell me when it was introduced.
Okay.
This is important, guys.
Okay.
Do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was read into the congressional record by a Florida Congressman, A.S. Herlong Jr. of Florida, January 10th, 1963.
Oh, so that was the year I was born.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's it. That's important. That's important. I mean, so you're telling us this has been around for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So let's see what the scorecard is, whether they've achieved their objectives or not, shall we? Hello?
I will read Mr. Herlong's statement.
All right.
To the Speaker of the House, which was a female at the time, of DeLand, Florida, also, is an ardent and articulate opponent of communism, and until recently published the Landa Courier, which she dedicated to the purpose of alerting the public to the dangers of communism in America. At Mrs. Nordman's request, I include the record under unanimous consent the following current communist goals, which she identifies as an excerpt from The Naked Communist by Cleon Sklousman.
Okay.
So if you read the book The Naked Communist, you will pull these out and actually other things too now that they're more noticeable.
Right.
Number one, the acceptance of the coexistence as the only alternative to atomic war.
What does that
That's
mean?
been
What
achieved.
does that mean, Mick? What does that mean? I mean, it says that we have to just exist, and the idea is we have nuclear weapons and they have nuclear weapons, and we are at a standoff. Is that it? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
pretty
where
much
we're
it.
at, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one is ticked off, right?
Yes, I would definitely say so.
Okay.
The U.S. willingness to capitulate in preference to engaging in atomic war. Once again, that's how they got the first one done.
Yeah, and we seem pretty willing, don't we? The last few
Yes,
days,
we do.
especially.
Yes.
Right? We're lobbing missiles into Russia, and they've already said that's part of our nuclear doctrine is to retaliate upon stuff like that with nuclear.
Well, that's their currently changed doctrine.
Yeah, it's their propaganda at the moment, right?
Being a child of the Cold War and being stationed over in Germany in the last waning years
Right.
of the Soviet Union, I'm used to the propaganda and the movements. A lot of people today are not.
Right.
So they take this as, Putin as this is exactly what he's going to do. You know,
Well,
they take.
this is a long-term plan we're looking at. This is a 50, 60-year-old plan.
Oh yeah,
Right?
oh yeah.
So,
No, but I'm talking about nuclear weapons in today specifically.
right.
The use of them today.
Right. Okay. All
Um,
right. Well, let's move along then.
okay. Develop the illusion that total disarmament by the United States would be a demonstration of moral strength.
Hmm.
They have not completed that one yet, but they are trying to.
Right. Which is the idea that
And we have
right, which is
yeah.
the idea that we should, because we're Christians, turn the other cheek and lay down our weapons.
Yes.
Right.
And
Right, which is
yeah,
they're
and dismantle our
tapping
nuclear
in
forces.
and but what's important there is the tapping into what it is that they're trying to, I guess, get out of us because of our worldview. That's how clever they are. They understand that we want to be the bigger man, right?
And you saw that, especially in Maine. Remember the protests? Well, no, you weren't there back then, but the nuclear power plant they were going to put in New Hampshire, Seabrook.
Yes.
And that's part of disarmament is all nuclear, even power in the U.S.
Well, that's an
They
interesting
completely
take.
funded that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting because, personally, nuclear has always been something that's been of interest to me, but the world seems to want to reject it because it is renewable. But yet we say things like, well, what are we going to do with all the waste? Well, what do we do with all the plastics that we, are sucking our juice boxes out of every day? I mean, come on, dude. Like, we can figure out something to do with it. We're sending, rockets to the moon, or to other planets. So
Yeah.
I find that interesting. Just interesting. I don't know what to do with it. I just find it interesting.
Well, the 3 Mile Island scare back in the late 70s
Yes.
really fed into that fear of
Yes.
nuclear energy.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was and the disaster was pretty much just ran up by the media.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, I mean, you've heard of you've heard of the people that have been killed because they had patents that were greater than the conventional wisdom of what could be done regarding miles per gallon on cars and so on and so forth. You've heard those you've heard that.
I've heard them. I don't believe most of them.
Yeah, I know. But and I'm kind of with you, man. I'm not a Q kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but I also do believe that when there's that much money to be made, all bets are off. Okay, all bets are off. And and I think it sucks into that normalcy bias sometimes, I think. That's just my
Well,
view.
the next natural resource that's going to be even worth more than lithium and oil is drinkable water.
Okay. Such as, what do you mean? Flesh that out for me. What does that look like? I mean, I get it. 2-3 days without water, we're done. So they take out the nuclear grid. If they do an EMP, okay, we're done.
I mean that's why Nestle is draining Maine of water.
Right.
Nestle's draining Michigan of water.
Yeah. Well, to that I answer right now is be prepared to understand how to purify water. People out there.
Well, not just that is, I would say when you buy your land, make sure it contains the mineral rights to what's underground.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, see,
that's a big thing in Texas right now.
And here's what's interesting, okay? My water, underground water, sucks right now. It's full of arsenic and lead, and I have to use reverse osmosis. And it works. The only problem is it strips everything out, and then you don't get any of the electrolytes that you need for your, heart to function, your lungs to function, all that kind of shit. Yeah. Because your body stops working without the electrical signals. So we have to go. But fortunately, we live within about a mile of a spring, so I can go down there with my bottles and fill them up. It's a pain in the ass, but surface water and it's clean. But yes, you need to secure for yourself a way to obtain, clean water because we all assume that it's going to be there. The grocery store is going to be there. The ATM will work tomorrow. All of that stuff. Your card's going to work. That's great. Maybe it will. I hope it does. Praise God, maybe it will. But, you don't know that. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, all right, go on.
Let's get back to the list here. Okay. Permit free trade between all nations, regardless of communist affiliation and regardless of whether or not the items could be used for war.
All right. Well, that's not hard to flesh out, is it?
No, and that's Nixon. That was a Republican president.
Yeah.
Who let China into the world.
Right. Absolutely. And that's where it began. And it's been this bleeding heart liberal sort of cry about what they give them, third world status. And this allows them to produce all sorts of stuff and forget about the coal plants, forget about the Paris Accords, forget about everything. They have a free reign to pretty much produce anything they want, any way they want it. And that gives them an economic advantage, which is huge, right?
Yeah. Have you seen the current news story about the missiles that are now landing in Ukraine from Russia are full of U.S. electronics, North Korean and Russian-made missiles?
No, I did not.
They're all full of U.S. electronics.
Say what? Why?
Yeah, chips and boards.
Oh, come on.
Because China buys them and then passes them off. These are the same chips that are in common electronic components in your CD player,
right?
In a GPS unit, and they're just passed off to North Korea and Russia through China.
Right.
So they're using their own tech against us.
Yeah, well, that I don't doubt. I mean, just look at the whole TikTok thing. Okay.
Yeah.
TikTok is anathema, right? I mean, it's like somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to do TikTok," and I'm like, no, just don't want anything to do with it. I mean, it's just like, I think it's evil. All right, so go on.
Okay. Extension of long-term loans to Russia and Soviet satellites. That's pretty much the entire 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Provide American aid to all nations, regardless of communist domination.
Right.
We still see that today.
We do. We do. Yeah. And I tell you, our foreign aid is something that really needs to be looked at because, it's like I don't think anybody American fundamentally disagrees with the proposition that if you can spend some money over there, it'll be better for us over here. Okay? I think that's universal. I mean, I think that's common sense. But the problem is what they're spending money on and what they think is supposed to be best for the United States. Like, for example, I don't know, drag shows in Zimbabwe. I think we could pass. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Just saying.
Let's see. Grant recognition of Red China and admission of Red China to the UN. That was done on behest of Nixon.
Right.
And they put them on the security as a permanent member of the Security Council.
Which is really problematic because they just veto everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, you want to talk about watering down and diluting American power? There you go. Gave it away.
Yeah.
Just gave it away.
Yeah. Now, number 8 is one of the ones that they weren't able to do, but only because of how weak the Soviets were when they fell.
Right.
And that was to set up East and West Germany as separate states, in spite of Khrushchev's promise in 1955 to settle the German question by free elections under the supervision of the UN.
Right.
But they didn't fall until 89.
Yes. Right.
So 34 years.
Right.
They got away with that.
Right.
That's still a win on their part.
Right. Well, again, I have to interject right here that these people think 50 years in the future. We think no more than 4. sometimes 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
And I think it's a weakness on our part, and I don't know how to address it. I don't think anything that we've gone through in our current election cycle addresses it. I don't. But that's a conversation to be had for another day, and we better have before this administration is through with this next 4 years. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Prolonged conferences to ban atomic tests because the United States has agreed to suspend tests as long as negotiations are in progress.
Mm-hmm.
They won on that one also.
Right.
While they continued to develop their weapons, we didn't.
Yeah.
Because we were in talks.
Well, let me ask you a question. If I would tell you that I support the Peace Through Strength initiative, what would you say in regard to having an effect upon this policy?
Ambiguous words.
Okay. All right.
Because those words mean something different to everyone else.
Okay.
To everyone.
True. Okay.
What's strength? What's peace mean?
Right. Well, how about we're going to bomb your ass into the fucking Stone Age if you don't fucking get straight? Was that clear enough for you?
Diplomacy is an axe. You just have to swing it around every once in a while.
Right. Yeah. And I think that Donald Trump did that very effectively during the 2006 term, don't you? I mean,
and he did it.
My button is bigger than yours.
Accuracy. And he did it with pinpoint accuracy.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He used ninja missiles instead of
right.
regular hellfires.
Right.
He attacked vehicles instead of wedding parties.
Right. Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. Allow all Soviet satellites individual representation in the UN. They got that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Promote the UN as the only hope for mankind. If its charter is rewritten, demand that it be set up as a one world government with its own independent armed forces.
The one world government. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. These people that believe that the one world government is a conspiracy theory. Well, all right, then there you go. There it is in black and white. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some communist leaders at the time believed that the world could be taken over easily by the UN as by Moscow. Sometimes the two centers compete with each other, but as they are now doing in the Congo, which a lot of people don't remember when communism swept through Africa back in the 70s.
Yep.
The Boer Wars and all that.
Yeah. We were busy over here obtaining the American dream. So I think that's fuzzy for some people. And that was what they were successful at, right? Kind of distracting us and making us think about Coca-Cola and what do they call Levi's, right? I mean,
and what gender you are.
Yeah.
And,
right. Exactly.
Resist any attempt to outlaw the Communist Party. We used to have in Congress the committee to investigate un-American activities.
Yes.
And what's funny about everybody talks about who was the guy that got wrote out of Congress? McCarthy.
Yes.
Back in the day, he was 100% right about Hollywood being full of communists.
Yeah.
100% right.
Yep.
And he got rode out on a rail by the media.
Yep. Yeah, I have my problems with Kevin McCarthy, okay? But, I mean, he's right about that. Is that...
No, I'm talking about the McCarthy of the 1950s. Remember McCarthyism
okay.
and all that?
Yes. Okay, all right, reset. I understand exactly what you're talking about, McCarthyism. Yeah.
Do away with loyalty oaths. Oh, like the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Every morning in school.
Yep.
Continue giving Russia access to the U.S. Patent Office. We did that during the entire Cold War.
Really?
Do you know that the Sikorsky brothers, Ivan and Igor, One built helicopters in America, the other in Russia.
What? What?
That's why if you look at early like 53s or like a Navy H-3,
Yeah.
their rotor heads are a very similar design to the Heinz series and the Hip series
Wow.
because they were brothers who were allowed to trade technology back and forth
What?
and allowed free communication. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, man. That sounds. Yeah, no, I didn't know that until now, and that's fascinating. I mean, it's like it gives you deeper insight into the military-industrial complex, right? I mean, seriously, who gives a shit
Oh,
as long as we're making money,
it's
right?
no different than the German rocket scientists
Right. Very similar.
that
Yeah.
half went to Russia and half went to us
Yeah.
after World War II. And our entire program, military program of dealing with cold weather injuries, comes from findings of Japanese tortures of POWs in World War II.
Oh, jeez.
Our entire treatment program of it was born out of torture.
Yeah. I don't know
I
where
mean,
we're
it's
at, dude. I'm just
it
like,
just is it is what it is. But where else do you get that kind of research data?
right. I know.
And do you use it for good? Once you get it, no matter why it was done, do you use it for good, or do you shelf it and ignore it?
Right. Well, that's a
I
good
mean,
question.
it's saved more people than it hurt at this point.
Right.
So,
All right. Well, let's get through the list. Let's see what else is
Okay.
the story here.
okay. Capture one or both political parties in the United States.
Oh,
Done.
bingo, done, like forever.
Yeah.
And then clearly the Democrat Party is sold out to communist ideology, right? What are you looking for?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, go on.
All right. Use technical decisions of the courts to weaken basic American institutions by claiming their activities violate civil rights.
Can anybody say ACLU?
Can anybody ever say gay marriage in the United States?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the big one.
There is no population that ever voted for that.
No.
It was all done through the courts.
Right.
California turned it down twice as our most progressive state.
Mm.
And it was done by the courts.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this transgender stuff that's why it's being thrown to the courts. And I've got nothing against gay people. Got them in my own family, have them as friends.
Right.
It's just the truth.
Well,